Take 17. Really cool stuff going on here, and coming the rest of the season as we sail through the Caribbean. This is my crew, and thank you very much. That's so good.
Welcome to an episode I've been waiting to do for a very, very long time. Paul and I have been in touch for maybe 4 years already, talking about doing a tour and some YouTube content on board the very first Loon, and we are now 3 generations down to this absolute beauty. Paul is going to be handing over to his crew to do a full interior walkthrough and exterior walkthrough, but over to you, Paul, to talk about just your platform, this boat, and where we are right now.
Of course. Awesome. Thank you guys. Welcome aboard. How amazing. 3 Loons later, started with the 45 meter back in 2017, then moved to the 55 meter in 2021, and now we're here on the 68 meter, 2023. Awesome stuff. We're so excited. This new yacht is absolutely spectacular. Every generation of Loon has added new features, new toys, and just a better experience for our guests. So, this Loon is just absolutely spectacular, and we're so excited to show her off. So,
amazing. Yeah. Tell us where we are right now. This is definitely one of the most beautiful aft-deck layouts I've ever seen. So give us a quick little run through what's on offer and what have you still got to come?
Yep, of course. So back here, we're on the swim platform right down in the Beach Club Lazarette area. This is such an awesome space, and one of the main areas that drew us to this boat when we purchased her. She's got the big fold-down door here that we're standing on, working our way through to the Lazarette. We've got a bar here, we've got the scuba diving locker, we've got the sauna, the spa with the massage room, and then the full enclosed gymnasium with all brand new Peloton equipment. It's super cool, super exciting. This area is going to be an absolute hit for the guests.
100%. In terms of toys, I can already see that you've got a lot on offer, but I also understand you have a lot to come.
Yes. So we've already got the 2 brand new jet skis. We've got the brand new Super Ski Nautique wake boat. We've got a brand new beach lander with a fold down bow, so as she comes up onto the beach, the bow comes down, you don't even need to get your feet wet. Still to come, we have the slide that's going to go off the side. Always an important feature of the Loons. All of our boats have always had it. Then onto the big swimming pool out the back. Same again, kind of a unique feature to Loon, a custom made Fun Air big swimming pool out the back. Always a center of the water sports activity. Guests can crash the jet skis into it, not damage the skis. The kids can hang out back there, safe from jellyfish, and it's always such a cool thing.
Because Captain Paul and Motor Yacht Loon make such an effort to be this incredible boat online, I think Paul has always made the effort to have the latest and greatest toys on every single one of his boats. You guys are all very water sport enthusiasts already, so in terms of kite surfing and everything, I know your team is extremely capable to be able to give your guests a pretty incredible experience.
Of course, to become a crew member on Loon, you need to have another skill. So everyone on board is either a scuba diving instructor, a yoga instructor, a personal trainer, the stew masseuse, kite surfing instructors. Everyone can do something else, and that really reflects to our guests and shows the experience that you can have on board.
Amazing. Well, Captain Paul has asked to include as much of his crew as possible in this particular walkthrough, so we'll now be moving up to the main deck aft, and you'll be handing over to one of your exterior crew to walk us around, correct?
Yes, of course. We're going to hand over to Tyler, and Tyler's going to show the decks, chief officer on board, and then from there he's going to hand over to Maxine, who will do the walkthrough through the interior.
Thanks for having us, Paul. We're really excited to be here.
Awesome. Super excited to do this.
We are now on the main deck aft with Tyler, the first officer on board. I've been told he is actually truthfully majority in charge of this particular boat. How true that is, you'll have to tell me.
Yeah.
But thanks for having us, man. And could you give us a walkthrough of your exterior deck space?
Yeah, man, for sure, man. Right now we're on main deck aft. This is the area where a lot of the guests like to come up in the mornings. So you've got the little breakfast nook over here. comfortably seating about 8 guests, and this is where they spend most of their mornings. As the day starts carrying on, they kind of meander out and come and jump in the pool. We fill this up in about 5 minutes. Choice between fresh or salt water, most of the time salt water, and then they laze around the pool over here. Good little view. A lot of the guests enjoy it a lot because their kids can play right over here and they've got a bit of an eye over them. We do have an inflatable pool that we set up at the back, but this is normally the start of the day and we'll go from there.
Many boats will be very much sun deck focused, whereas you'll find on board Loon, we've got a lot of the aft deck focus area for guest space. Could you talk a bit about that? I think it's such a nice space to be able to go straight from interior dining, straight onto breakfast nooks outside, into the pool and down to the swim platform with access for the guests as well. I think it's such a unique layout.
It is perfect. Like on all the boats that I've been on, most of them have a big focus on the sun deck, like you mentioned, but in the end, all the guests do, they spend most of their time down here, and this is the ideal zone for them, because moving forward from the inside of what's offered inside and what's to come from the inside to this aft deck space, that they have this pool area, and then like you mentioned, coming straight from their guest rooms out onto the swim platform, and then you have the sauna over there, you got the massage room, you've got the gym with our PT on board and the masseuse. You know, it just offers them everything, and this is the main focus. This is where they're going to spend their time. You know, this is where we can set up for pizza in the evenings and barbecues and just have everybody out on this open deck space. You know, it's a good area. I'm very stoked to have it.
A very water sports focused boat with a lot of opportunity to spend time in the water at water level, and the perfect platform to do that.
Yeah.
So take us up to the upper deck and let's keep going.
Let's go up through the upper deck. Yeah, well, here we come up to the upper deck. This is where it's a lot more of the dining area. This is where they set up more of the evening dining areas. Very well protected, as we always anchored. Wind always comes from the bow, so this little area over here, always facing towards the pure beauty. As you can see behind us right now, you know, with the way we're facing, the guests will be sitting here enjoying dinner, some breakfasts. Most of the time they'll be having the breakfast down below, like I mentioned. And then as the day goes, after maybe a little bit of a lazy lunch, pass out over here, sit down, feel the wind, and after maybe a busy day with water sports or so, you know.
I think it's important to think about that. Maybe something guests don't really realize is that the wind is, like they said, coming from the bow, which is the boat's always swinging with the wind. So to have an aft deck focused yacht actually ends up enhancing the experience so much more in terms of weather and enjoyment, correct?
Yeah, 100%, you know. And the good spot about this is that actually we have a stew pantry right at the back over here, which is very close to the area of service, whereas most vessels actually have one hidden a little bit further away. Here you got the girls on call right around the corner. Service is happening very quick, and with the galley being just underneath here as well, it's within a few seconds warm food straight up to you, you know. So
on to the next one.
Yeah, let's go on up. Let's move it up. So now we are coming up to the bridge deck aft. So this is actually, if you head on through the hallway over here, that actually takes you straight through to the bridge deck, where I spend most of my time when we're underway. And then this is where the guests spend a lot of their time, more in the afternoons. You know, this is a very secret spot. Most of the kids and the friends will all be downstairs, and this is more where the couples kind of escape from everybody, you know. Nice. Come and sit out here, sit in the jacuzzi, and just enjoy.
So you got a little bar here?
Oh, we got a bar set up right over here. So the girls will be around over here serving you drinks, and while you just cruise and enjoy, you know.
It's funny that as you get away from the water, they still give you more options to be in a hot tub and still have fine places to enjoy.
Yeah.
So little bar, little jacuzzi. How capable are the girls on the cocktails?
Oh man, super capable. I think every week you'll check on the Instagram. You know, they're always either doing like a cocktail reel or a coffee reel. So they're really capable. They love it and they're really good at it. So
amazing. So even if you don't get the opportunity to come as a guest to experience it, you can still see what Loon is doing on board their Instagram and YouTube channels all the time. Yeah. So up to the final deck, which is the sun deck.
Yep.
After you.
Yeah, cool. Let's go for it. As we come into this one, you're going to see that this has just got huge panoramic view all the way around. You know, this is where you can just come up and actually enjoy the different sites that the boat's taking you to. If you're taking you to beautiful spots, especially sitting in Croatia or along the Amalfi Coast, you know. Oh man, it's just, you want to be up here, you want to view everything, and this is the perfect deck for it, you know. Come up here, sit down, read a book, maybe sunset, and just enjoy the places that we're taking you.
100%. I
Yeah.
think particularly in the Med, you guys go to some of them, and not even just in the Med, in the Caribbean, you go to some of the most unreal places ever.
Yep.
I know Loon is very particular about your guys' selection of where you take your guests. So to be up here and have a look at the view and get a full scope of the entire surroundings must be absolutely incredible. My personal favorite as a guest, because I have been once, is to be up here when you're Med mooring and to see how close you are to the other boats and all the action as you enter in. So this would be my preference of choice to see see the view from up here.
Definitely, man.
Has anybody jumped off the sun deck?
I just wanted to say, and after that, then you can take a quick jump. You know, all the boys, we actually went just last night as the sun was setting. We all did our first little dive into the water.
Nice.
Everyone's standing up there. About 6 of us, and only 5 jumped. And the 6th, well, he took a little bit of time, you know.
Cool. Well, we'll insert that clip here of these crazy guys jumping off the sun deck, which must be what, 18, 20 meters?
Oh yeah, easily, I would say so.
If you were a guest, would you do it? Comment down below and let us know. All right, after you and back down to the bar.
Cool. Yeah, so now we're here up in the bow. You know, this is a spot where from the owner's office you actually have direct access out. So straight from the guest area. It's not like you have to walk around anywhere of the boat. Come through and you can walk straight up to the front. Just the other day we had a bunch of dolphins just jumping off the bow, and you would have seen Chef Dean actually just standing up there, just a big pose up forward. They should have had some doves released behind him as well, but dolphins just jumping up forward. And with the bow section over here, you can actually look over very easily. So it's pretty cool. A lot of the guests come and seat up here, and then as we're underway, pop their heads over and see some dolphin action. I bet you might even be able to see some whale action depending on where we go, and whatever other animals over the side.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, let's jump into a little montage of the entire deck area, ranging from the top all the way through to the bottom. Really been a pleasure. Thanks for showing us around.
No, it's been good.
And we'll jump into the interior and show you what that looks like. Right, we're in a little bit of a forbidden area on board. This is the crew cabins, which I'm sure one day you'll get the chance to see. But what I'm about to take you into is a very unique cabin. In fact, the first of its kind on board super yachts. And I'll let the person in charge tell you a little bit why. Let's see what's inside this door.
Yo, what's going on? I'm Blair. I'm the full-time content creator on board Motor Yacht Loon. I've got a very unique opportunity here. Just being a full-time content creator, and as far as I know, the only one in the industry at the moment, which is really, really cool. As you can see behind me, I've got all the latest and greatest gear. Paul's goes above and beyond to make sure that we have some of the best photography and videography gear in the game, and it really shows in our content. Like,
this was my dream job. This was the job I always wanted, and Blair has got it, and he's killing it. He's got every piece of equipment that you could ever want here.
Yeah.
Dude, what a gig.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad.
Not too bad. Could you talk to us a little bit about what's actually going on here now? I already see some edits happening. I'm seeing gear everywhere. Just tell us a little bit about what gear you have on board and what they can expect to see on board Loon.
So, I mean, welcome to the editing suite. We've got everything from the best drones, FPV drones, the new Mavic 3 Pro. I film with the Sony A1 every day. Our backup camera is a Sony A7S III. So it shows you the standard that we kind of go to.
Yeah. I don't think people understand yet how valuable it is to have somebody like Blair on board a boat to be able to document for the guests, which is what you do, correct? To provide them a visual experience of their time on board Loon, which they obviously show to all their friends and then want to keep like repeat business coming back to Loon. But from the other side is to promote how Loon does what they do. And the behind the scenes, in my opinion, have always been the most important, because if you guys are as professional as you are behind the scenes, imagine how professional you are when you're actually on camera in front of guests.
Exactly that.
So I think it's an underappreciated role, and congratulations to you for having the first one in the industry.
Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate that.
We have now had a full walkthrough of the exterior decks, and onto equally as important part of the vessel is the interior. So I'm going to hand over to Max, who's been part of the Loon program from number 1, correct?
That is correct, yes.
And she's going to give us a tour of the interior on board Motor Yacht Loon. So over to you.
Amazing. So I'll take you guys inside. What we've got here is the indoor dining area. It's pretty much not used too much, but whenever the weather's really bad, or you know, it's too hot outside and they want to be in the aircon, they can come inside here and use this area. It seats 10 guests very comfortably.
I would have said in the past that the main deck area is almost never used on larger boats, particularly of a vessel of this size. However, with the swimming pool and the seating out here and straight onto the swim platform, I bet this is probably used more than most boats' main decks. Is that correct?
Absolutely, especially because we have these incredible doors that open all the way. It's a very, very nice, kind of like an inside-outside area. So what we have here is the main salon area. It's a really great area to come watch movies, TV. As you can see, we've got a massive TV on the wall there, and it's a really nice area to go from outside all the way through. We can take you guys to the master cabin. So what we have here is the master cabin. It's a really, really great room. As you can see, nice big windows, lots of natural lights. And then we've got the bathroom over here. One of the biggest features, as you can see, is the bath. It was actually, the boat was built around the bath. As you can see, it's solid concrete. Otherwise, we've got amazing rain showers, and again, beautiful big windows.
I think something that nobody would have thought of is to think that you have to build a boat around the bath. But I suppose if you want to do something elaborate like this, you got to think in advance. And I mean, what a flippant view to be in the bath. And
exactly. So we are now in the lower guest area, which is actually 5 levels down from the sun deck. Being down here, it's really, really nice because you are quite low down, central to the boat. So any of those guests that do get a little bit seasick or don't like the motion, there's very little motion down here, which is always really nice. There are 4 cabins down here, so they can accommodate 8 guests. They're really, really great big rooms. The biggest feature about these cabins as well, which a lot of boats don't have, is the king size beds can be split into twins, which is great when you've got you know, charters that have business guys or kids and they don't want to be sharing a king bed. It can be in twins.
Amazing. So in case you're lost, because it's totally normal to be lost at this point, we are 5 levels down from the sun deck. This is where up to 8 different guests can be accommodated for. 1 level up being main deck. Tell me if I get this wrong as well. That's the master cabin, and then you go up 1 more for additional staff accommodation for a total of 12 plus additional staff. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Amazing. Another really unique feature is to be on a deck that has direct access to the water. So I can only imagine waking up here, out the door and straight onto the swim platform and into the water. A really unique feature that I have seen very few boats have, and that would be something for me as a tick box to come and book a boat like this.
So up here we have the master office. It's a really great area, lots of natural light, huge windows. It's a very nice area for people to come, especially if they want to get out of the buzz and, you know, be away from people, if they've got important calls to make, even just sit down on the couch, have a morning coffee, you know, be away from everything. And it's a great as well because we've got the doors on either side that takes you out to the forepeak, which is a great area to chill. We are actually going to be doing some alterations in here. We're going to be turning this into another cabin, which is going to be a great feature to have.
Yeah, I can imagine with the windows all the way through and full beam, it's going to be amazing.
Coming out of the office on the right hand side, we have the additional 7th cabin, which is a great room, especially if you've got some staff or if guests have a nanny. It's a great place to put them.
So just to elaborate on that, you can only have 12 guests on board a boat on a vessel like this. However, in the past, nannies have had to stay and take up an additional guest space, whereas in this case, Loon has additional accommodation where you can be signed on as crew, as the pilot or as the nanny, and still be accommodated for and still have your 12 guests on board, which is a unique feature.
Okay, so here we have the Sky Lounge, another great area, more additional seating inside. We've got another TV, so we've got the one downstairs, we've got this great big TV up here, because we've got the Starlink Wi-Fi, it's incredible. We've got Netflix, everything you can imagine. We've got a big movie storage on board as well. It's also a great area because it leads straight outside where we do all our meals. This table seats 12 guests very comfortably. It's so it's a perfect place to do the lunch, dinners, breakfast, whatever it may be. There's also an additional seating outside, and the doors again open up really wide. So that concludes the interior tour. We are so excited to be here. We're so excited to get going and have a busy charter season. So let's hope that we can, get booked up like we always do, and yeah, kill it.
It's been such a cool experience for me to come on board and get to meet all the Loon crew that has made such a huge dent in the yachting industry. Now to meet them, I understand why everybody is so dynamic, so well organized, and what you've managed to do on board this boat in such a short space of time is really incredible. This is going to be an amazing charter platform, so let's give you one last run through of the boat, showcase some of the areas on board again, and we'll find a way to wrap up this episode.
Hope you enjoyed today's tour throughout the boat, guys, with this inside and exclusive look on board Loon. Please remember to like and follow our YouTube channel at Motor Yacht Loon. And guys, this is my crew. Thank you very much for joining us today. Woo!